Abusuafo na etiefo ni die kwan so mema obi bia akwa baba channel so aha daily update TV ni die kwan so say na no first time baba channel so amesro say utie news ni wi na say wani gye ho abe subscribe for more updates so be like no ahye news no so ma love say nya bi eti Yakopon ncha no nya okese say yes ade me pa cha utie no so say comment bi so a constructively mesro so be comment section na ye be je ni akenkan Yakopon ncha yen zoom straight into news e woni enkotie na me pa cha eye nanim say this as we speaking kra no yeah president yes say the waba or kasakra yes waba or kasana or giving a state of the nation or giving the state of nation address that so no and or them na me pacho na yeah expect say the NDC MPs ne NPP MPs na be kwa kopi ho omu nyina nyankopan adom omu nyina kopi obe omu kopi ho no NDC MPs na boycott so far Akufo Addo ni SONA no kra no muni ho omokoy omoso omomba na ade ntino na omokasa omompese omobeko chamber ho no de ntino omokasa omoko chamber on say Bank of Ghana governor Addison e can be go the minority that is the NDC MPs no some hooligans ade because now we demand for accountability and Bank of Ghana governor no e call you say and as well from some hooligans into omo gina no say and until say Bank of Ghana governor no be patch on omo de omomba and again omo de bill be akoto president enim so on sign or so on sign it nti omo gina no so ni some other matters no omo say omomba na omo boycott nti no omo ni chamber na prior to that na former president John Dramani Mahama wodi kan akoko awo ho na nti ya yenya ne say enkomodidie bi ede ekoso nti enkomodidie no course wie na ma former president John Dramani Mahama call the NDC caucus no call no omko kasa na afil omoba chamber na allegedly nkofo ka say eye Akufo Addo na apa Mahama acho na Mahama so akọ from aba ti Akufo Addo apa Mahama acho a Mahama ntinya chess na Akufo Addo apa Mahama acho a na e kire se de na chese na nka omomma no full audio ne kwakoti so the men some yenko tie details na nkasa for ourselves Yakopon cha no nyokes me that's bebre
the minority MP strict.
I can hear you, Alfred.
Yes, I can hear you.
Me, Alfred?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, so what we get is that there were about 3 issues. We mentioned 2 already. We have to deal with the continuity of the boss of the central bank in office, and also the issue about the signing of the private members bill. We are told also now that one of the issues that it raised was the release of the District Assembly Common Funds, which has been in a year for a while now. It was one of the things that they were holding on to. So 3 issues which they were dealing with: the refusal of the president to assent to the private members bill, the continuity of the DOD boss in office, and also the release of the District Assembly's Common Fund. And some agreement of the sort is reached. That has not been communicated, but I think some assurance of the sort has been given by the president. I realized at the point that the chief of staff left the chamber and went to the speaker's office. If that's anything to go by, we can only conclude that it primarily has to do with that, because it's one thing that both sides of the house have really raised. And I mean, if you understand the politics that goes on here, sometimes the majority intentionally would allow the minority to do the speaking, because they know if they do it, it carries a lot more weight and all that. So these are the issues that has made them to, for want of a better word, speak the process of the thought. So to speak, holding the president, quote unquote, to ransom on this one. But the good thing is that they are back to the chamber now, and then it will be happening.
I say, but we still don't have the front bench of the minority. I'm talking about the minority leader, Dr. Kesi and the deputy and the whips.
So the information, Alfred, I'm picking some indications that the flag bearer of the NDC, John Mahama, has moved out of the chamber, joined by Dr. Kesi going to meet the minority MPs on this matter now. It's quite a fluid one. I think it has to do with the welfare matters of the MPs, and the welfare includes the issue about the release of the District Assembly's Common Fund and all that. So it's one of the reasons why you can see that they are here. I'm trying to see if I can get a minority MP. Okay, so it's confirmed now that yes, John Mahama has gone to meet the minorities. Has gone to top 600 at a minority caucus meeting to figure this. Let me just try and get Dr. Rashid Kelvin, who is there. Doctor, you're live on TV3. Why are your colleagues not here? We understand John Mahama has gone for the caucus meeting to meet you now. Can you confirm why you're not there?
Well, I'm with them. We had a small break, and I'm going back there. We are determined to approach this issue holistically and to draw government's attention to some of the unnecessary failures of government. At the moment, every MP knows that the people are suffering. They are calling for bohos to be done. The government has failed to do them. They are failing to provide furniture for schools and etc. etc. Schools to draw this attention. 2 weeks ago, the minority chief whip stood on the floor of Parliament and warned government and said, look, address this thing or else we are using it, we're going to bring it up on the day the president is coming to draw his attention that he's failing to do exactly he has to do. And that's why we have met to talk about it and to let the president know that we are not going to wait for words that mean nothing. We want action to be taken.
So basically, yes, it has to do with the delaying the release of the DSCF. That it doesn't have anything to do with the continuous stay of the BOG boss and also the president's refusal to sign the private members deal as well.
It has to do also with the BOG boss who insulted it, who has been irresponsible, who has been inefficient and failed to do what he's supposed to be doing, to draw his attention to his refusal to apologize and to withdraw his statement and refusal to resign when he has to after reigning this government or this economy. It's part of it all.
So John Mahama is meeting you now. We are told that he's gone to the caucus meeting.
Yeah.
What precisely would he be doing, at the caucus meeting with the minority?
Well, he's here, and if we are protesting, it's only important for us to invite him to listen to us and to get to know what we are doing. He would have some key advice to give to us.
Okay, right. Many thanks. Alfred, so that's Dr. Rashid. It's quite a fluid situation over here to the extent that the flag bearer of the NDC have had to leave the chamber. He came in as a statesman, as a guest for the State of the Nation address. As we speak, it's at job 600 at that minority caucus meeting, wanting to meet them over this matter. It's quite a fluid one, Alfred.
Indeed, rightly so. And we captured John Mahama walking out of the public gallery just before we connected with you. So for our viewers and our listeners, we did see John Mahama stepping out. And this is one that we see quite closely. But any clear indication of where the president is now? Because if the minority is being met by the flag bearer, then what's happening with the president?
Well, the president is still at the speaker's lobby as we speak, and so it does appear that he will be held there until maybe there's some assurance of the sort. If these things are not addressed, it does appear that the plan of the minority, so to speak, to thwart the efforts of the president in giving or making it clearly known and seen what they describe as the real state of the nation is what is being exhibited here by the minority group. And so it's the more reason why we do not see them, and the fact that John Mahama had to move all the way to the caucus meeting of the minority as we speak.
I see. Now, we've seen the wife of the flag bearer, in fact, the vice president of the Republic, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Samira Bawumia, is there. But is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia there himself? Have you seen him?
Yes, he's also at the speaker's lobby as we speak, and normally that's where they go. When the visitors come, that's where they go, and so he's also at the speaker's lobby.
Okay, Komla, appreciate you. Thank you so much, Chief Parliamentary Correspondent Komla Kluche there. So it's monitoring affairs. Now we have some confirmation as to why the minority, and in fact, the larger majority of the minority MPs are not in the chamber. We've just seen a few of them, but the front bench, that's the leadership of the minority, is not in the chamber. And a number of issues they want addressed, including, but not limited to, the continuous stay of the Bank of Ghana boss, in fact, with not apologizing for referring to the minority as hooligans. Now, also, the non-release of the District Assembly's Common Fund, the 2 or 3 tranches or so, and the Members of Parliament general welfare. So those are the issues that the minority wants some answers to commit the president. And he's within their territory. So normally you would expect that some of these issues that they want to put to the president will be reserved for such times like this. We've seen this a few times in the past. Yes, Paul Griff, you're on the point about specific interventions to create avenues. You talk about that 1 million entrepreneurs, right, that government wanted to create. I have interacted with a number of the persons who are either beneficiaries of this, the Ghana Entrepreneurship, this program, the former MBSSI. They get funding from MasterCard and so on. But there is the lack of sustainability. As in, you give them the money, there is no plan of following up to find out whether the monies that have been disbursed are actually being used for what they were given for. And in terms of the recovery rate, because these monies are not free from the understanding that I got, there is a very low interest rate, some 1%, 2%, others 5%. But the recovery rate has been low because of your lack of monitoring of what the money given to these young people is used for. What has to be done to change that? Because that's clearly a problem. Because if you can't recover the monies, others cannot benefit. And we've seen that in a number of areas.
Alfred, I think that's an unfair analysis. I mean, I have followed the MBSSI, now Ghana Enterprise Agencies and NEIP, and I've seen how disciplined they have been in terms of their monitoring processes for all the grants that is given out to these young people for the implementation of their own small, medium enterprises.
And do you know the recovery rate? So I'm only speaking to data.
Yes, I know, but I'm also stating. I don't speak out of but I'm also stating that from where the funding comes from, MasterCard and the various international organizations, there is no way that there wouldn't be effective monitoring and evaluation of funds that has been given out. And so it's important that we put that in context of the issues. And also to be able to state that a lot more of what government has done is to create that enabling environment. And you are aware that government would need to look into a number of issues. I mean, so if you look at the interventions that government has brought from 2017, the interventions that government has brought even from 2021, even till date, you can clearly see signs and indicators that our government is making sure that is meeting the needs of the Ghanaian people. And a number of them that I could, from sector to sector, from trade and industry, you mentioned the one district, one factory, and I stated that as a government, we have sought to industrialize the Ghanaian economy.
So you say one district, one factory, how many factories have been completed?
We set out to, there are a total of about 296 projects that we set out to do. About 150 of them are currently operational. 150 of them are currently operational. A few of
mention five of them that are operational.
I can mention 5 of them. There's a company called Pendream Oil Mines. The nature of business is processing of the oil palm. It's at Abam, and then there is also the Kesi Roper company. The process orange.
I'll tell you the Casa de Ropa. The Casa de Ropa is the one in the central region.
Yes. There is the EKA Foods Limited.
Palgrave.
Yes.
That company, I visited that company personally. they have had to lay off a number of their workers. That's number one. And two, because of the increasing cost of production, at a point that was disrupted, and they are going through some challenges as we speak. So what do you have update on this particular company, Casa de Ropa? Because they are the ones who produce this plantain chips and others.
Plantain chips, potatoes.
Yes, I'm telling you that this is verifiable information that anybody can check. That company is not doing so well.
Well, but there are other companies that are doing well. You said I should mention 5.
Yes,
so
because you say they are in operation.
So Premium Foods Limited, they do food processing. There is the Yankton Agro Limited. There's the Nuribis Limited. There's the Happy Sunshine. There's the Line Tanyan Company Limited, R&R Luxury, SBA Company Limited in Ashanti region, Strongman Foods and Farms, Yedi Africa Limited, CH Global Limited, GKV Investment Limited, Josma Agro Limited, Amenfi Farms Limited, Dorotikani, Kaskasani, Stone Alcohol,
let me find out this.
Kidian,
if all of these companies
number of them, multiple of factories.
If all of these companies are in operation, the factories are in operation.
These factories that
why is it that we have industrialization, in fact the industry sector, recording a negative growth within the third quarter of 2023 as per the Ghana Statistical Service data?
No, you see, Alfred, you must appreciate that we didn't have a lot more industries that were operational and implemented by any government than our government. As government had come into an economy that didn't have industrialization. And once we are building an industrialized economy, it means that in the long term of Ghana's economy and Ghana's development, Ghana is going to be heavily dependent on homegrown solutions. Ghana is going to be dependent on homegrown industries that are providing the very basic needs of the Ghanaian economy. And so that's large and broad. And also you can also look into the assembling of vehicles that we have brought in, the SMEs development, close to the business resource centers, the strategic anchor of industries that we have done. I mean, these are things that you cannot lose sight of. And the number of jobs that has been created from the employment and labor relations and all of that.
What was the end objective of bringing in these assembling plants? Was it to create jobs?
It's to, of course.
That will be they also being in business by Ghanaians patronizing their product, is it not?
Very much.
Now, what the analysis that we have done market research, which is verifiable data everybody can find. I can make that available to you. The Ghanaian people that market that these assembling companies or cars manufacturing companies were supposed to or expected to get, they are not, because the vehicles are still too expensive. People still prefer to import vehicles into this country. So the end objective of bringing in these assembling plants or companies in this country is not being achieved. And I've had personal conversation with at least 2 of the managers of these assembling plants in this country who are indicating that if things continue this way, they are a business. They cannot sustain their operations in this country when they are not getting enough market for their produce and they have to pay people.
Alfred, these assembling plants are assembling plants that didn't used to exist in this country. I know other people as well who purchase these vehicles on high purchase, and they are using those for their operationalization and their own well-being in the country. And it's created jobs, and we've also set up these engineering schools that are also teaching young people how to